So I'm watching this. So this is Fox Business, and this is a colonel from the United States military, and he's going to make a gaffe. And what is the gaffe? He's going to tell the truth. And this guy doesn't know what to do because he's going to tell them the truth about Ukraine right now. And watch this.
The first 5 days, Russian forces, I think, frankly, were too gentle. They've now corrected that. So I would say another 10 days, this should be completely over. But the question is, what is it that Zelensky is going to do? The Russians have made it very clear what they want is a neutral Ukraine. This could have ended days ago if he accepted that. And then they can adjust.
So there's a colonel from the United States military saying this could have been over a long time ago if Zelensky would have just agreed to keep his country neutral. Won't do it. Here we go.
Borders. But the eastern part of Ukraine is firmly in Russian hands. But again, the Russians are not seizing territory. They're destroying Ukrainian forces. That's their focus.
Colonel, it sounds like you don't approve of Zelensky's stand.
Oh, I think Zelensky is a puppet. And he is putting huge numbers of his own population at unnecessary risk. And quite frankly, most of what comes out of Ukraine is debunked as lies within 24 to 48 hours. The notions of taking and retaking airfields, all of this is nonsense. It hasn't happened.
He's not a hero when he's standing up for himself and his own people. You don't think he's a hero?
No, I do not. I don't see anything heroic about the man. And I think the most heroic thing that he can do right now is to come to terms with reality. Neutralize Ukraine. This is not a bad thing. A neutral Ukraine would be good for us as well as for Russia. It would create the buffer that, frankly, both sides want. But he's, I think, being told to hang on and try to drag this out, which is tragic for the people that have to live through this.
I'm inclined to disagree with you, Colonel, but, you know.
What can I do? I can't say I agree with you. I'm getting paid by the people who are profiting off this war. So thank you very much. Appreciate it, Colonel. So there's a colonel telling you that Zelensky's a puppet. Is that guy a lefty? Is this guy a lefty, the colonel is he some crazy Putin puppet? Is that who that guy is? Is that guy being paid by the Russians? The guy on Fox Business who's from the military? Aaron, would you like to react to that? I think it was funny watching that guy Varney. Well, I can't believe you're telling the truth like this. What do you think this is, Tucker Carlson show? Asshole. We're at frickin' Fox Business. Go ahead, Aaron, go ahead and react to that clip.
Well, so the colonel speaking there his name is Doug McGregor, and I interviewed him back in early January, and he said that Russia was going to invade when people like me were very skeptical of that. So he called it very accurately. And what he was saying was that Russia is not going to compromise on this core security concern. And that's the security concern that we've been ignoring for decades now. And, look, Jimmy, in response to this argument, people will say, well, why can't Ukraine join a military alliance? Everyone should have the right to join any military alliance that they want, right? Okay. And in theory, that's true. But the problem is we live in the real world where countries have spheres of influence, and they also have their own legitimate security interests too. And just imagine how the U.S. would react if Russia in Mexico, back to coup, started sending billions of dollars worth of weapons to fight a proxy war against U.S.-backed forces with the aim of bleeding the U.S., and then tried to bring Mexico into a hostile military alliance. The U.S. would have bombed and nuked Mexico a long time ago. They would never would have allowed it. So we live in the real world, and what Russia is doing has been predicted for a long time. And the question is it worth trying to bring Ukraine, which is a deeply divided country with many people who identify with Russia and don't want to be a part of NATO, into a hostile military alliance that would, in the event of a war, require the U.S. to come to Ukraine's defense and engage in World War III? It's a recipe for suicide.